Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today we're going to do a Kindle haul. I have a few books that I have gotten from NetGalley, so like a decent amount, and then one I got for free, so I thought I would go ahead and share those with you. Okay, so the first one that I have here is The Empress of Salt and Fortune by Nevo. And this one I got for free from the Tor ebook club. There is a type of newsletter that you can sign up, and every so often you will get a free ebook offer. And if you're interested in that book, you can download the book for free. And if you're not interested, then you don't need to worry about it. But I have definitely gotten some things from them that I'm excited about. We'll try to leave a link to that newsletter down below, so if you guys want to sign up for it, you can. Okay, so this one follows a young royal woman who is from the north and is sent to the south for a political marriage. And this is an empire that seems to be very reminiscent of like Imperial China. So that kind of dynamic here. And she is definitely feeling very lonely. She's on her own. Her brothers are all dead. Her royal family is just in shambles. She doesn't have any friends. She feels very alone and isolated, and she is now sent to marry somebody for political reasons. And while she is there, she ends up getting a companion woman who comes to kind of be like her handmaiden, if you will. And I think from there they strike up a friendship and kind of come up with some scheming and some planning and some things to make some changes happen. And this has won a ton of awards, including the Hugo Award for 2021. So that's exciting. And yeah, I'm excited to read that. Okay, the next one that I got from NetGalley, this is called The Writing Retreat. This is by Julia Bartz. It's a thriller, and this one comes out in February. Okay, this book is following a woman named Alex, and she has a lifelong dream of becoming a published author. And right as she's about to kind of give that up because she's not getting very far, she ends up getting this very rare opportunity to join this writing retreat that is a month long, and it is with a very popular horror author. And it's just very, very exclusive, and Alex gets the opportunity to go. So she decides she's going to give this one last chance. When Alex gets there, she realizes that her former best friend and now rival is also attending this retreat. So that's awkward. And when all of the writers gather there, a bombshell is kind of dropped on them because the horror author who is hosting this retreat tells them that they have to write a novel from scratch in 1 month. And the winner of, whoever writes the best novel is going to get a 7-figure publishing deal out of it. So way to stir up competition, and they have to start from scratch. It can't be something that they've already worked on before or that they're currently working on. It has to be something completely new. So she is going to try to actually win this, and she is also trying to ignore a whole bunch of weird things, including the author's very strange behavior, some weird things happening in the estate, like, is this place haunted maybe type thing? And she's trying to focus on her work. And yeah, so that sounds really good. It sounds like it's going to be a really good isolated thriller. And someone goes missing. So there's that. Okay, the next one is Morewood Family Rules. This is by Helen K. Diamond, and this one comes out in April. Okay, so this one follows the Moorhead family. Now, Jillian Moorhead is the oldest child from parents who, like, her father was a con man and her mother was an heiress. So they had a lot of money. Her father was a con man. You can probably see where that's going. So Jillian is the oldest child from her parents. Now, she's the stable one. She is sensible and dependable. She protects people. She fixes things to the point where she even went to prison for her family. Okay. So now she's out of prison, and she says she's more than a little pissed. Yep, absolutely. She should be. So she comes home, and before she went to prison, their family had made an agreement that they were going to stop conning people, trickery, like all that kind of stuff. They were going to play on the straight and narrow, right? But as soon as she was gone, they all completely ignored that and they just went about their usual way. So now she's out, she's back home, and she is determined to fix this family. So she is like kind of dropping the hammer on them. However, they are all still kind of trying to get away with little things here and there. So I think there's a love story in there woven in somewhere as well, but it just sounds like a lot of fun. And next one is What Have We Done by Alex Finley, and this comes out in March. Now, I have not read anything by Alex Finley yet. I do have his release that came out earlier this year, The Night Shift. I haven't read it yet. I do want to read his first debut novel, Every Last Fear. I just don't own that one. But I do want to read it. So I'm definitely interested in this author. I just haven't read anything yet. And he's local to me, so that's really cool too. But yeah, I don't know what my problem is. Okay, so this follows a group of 3 people, and when they were teenagers, they were all staying in this same kind of home for parentless teens, and all 3 of them endured some really, really horrible living conditions and horrible situations. And they were all friends. They all helped each other through it, and eventually they were all separated. As adults, they are all 3 kind of coming back together because someone is trying to kill them, and it has something to do with their past. So they're all forced to figure out what in the world is going on, who is trying to kill them, and why, and all this stuff. And they're having to relive some things that happened before that they were really trying to run away from in one way or another. So it definitely sounds interesting. The next one is The Mostly True Story of Tanner and Louise by Colleen Oakley, and this one comes out in March. I have read a book by Colleen Oakley that I really, really loved, and I definitely want to read more from her. I do have some more of her books on my shelves. I just haven't read them yet. Story of my life, guys. But this will be her newest one coming out in March. Okay, so this follows Tanner and Louise. Tanner is 21, and she is not really looking for a whole lot of responsibility. She just wants to sit around in her sweatpants and play video games all day. But she needs a job. So she needs to have some sort of income just because she has to be able to live some sort of life. She ends up getting the opportunity to become a full-time caretaker for a woman named Louise, whose daughter is insisting that she get a live-in nanny, basically, to take care of her because she, had some sort of accident at the house. But she still insists that she doesn't need help. She's a very stubborn woman. So the 2 end up working together, and Tanner is, living in this house with her and being her caretaker, basically. But they are both kind of just ignoring each other. Like, neither one of them want Tanner to be there. Neither one of them do. And however, Tanner starts noticing some things. She starts having some questions about Louise. And, I think there's something going on with this woman a little bit more than she's willing to let on. And one night, Louise ends up in her room at 1 a.m. with a suitcase saying, "We need to leave right now." Yes, please. I want to know why. What's going on? What's happening? So that sounds good. The next one I have is Locust Lane. This is by Stephen Amadon, and this one comes out in January. Okay, so this one follows kind of a quiet, very safe-seeming town in New England, and a woman is found dead. Dead woman in the suburbs, always a good time, right? And so the investigation starts into her death, what happened, why. Turns out she was partying with 3 teenagers. Each has a little bit of a history and, something going on. And so all of the speculation is happening. Why was she with these kids? What was happening? Each one of them has some sort of motive. And so everything's trying to come out. All the while, these kids' parents are inserting themselves trying to protect their kids. So things are going to be going haywire and all that stuff. So this sounds very interesting. Okay, and last but definitely not least is All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. And this is coming out in January as well. I loved her first book, A Flicker in the Dark. I absolutely loved that book. So when I found out this was coming out, I was very excited. Okay, this one is following a woman named Isabella. She has a son named Mason. He is a baby. And when Mason was a baby, he was taken out of his crib during the night while her and her husband were asleep in the next room. Gone without a trace. Absolutely no evidence. Absolutely no leads. It goes cold pretty quickly. And she is just completely beside herself. Obviously, her baby was stolen from her. And she literally cannot sleep. Like insomnia kicks in. So she can occasionally have a little bit of a cat nap. And there are times where she actually even blacks out and has no idea what has happened during that time. So definitely a little bit, I think as we're getting into the story, it's going to be a little bit of an unreliable narrator type thing with the blackouts and stuff like that. But she is literally stopping at nothing to try to find her son. And she ends up agreeing to be interviewed by a true crime podcaster to see if that can kind of gain some traction with, the public, to see if there's some interest in people trying to help and trying to get some clues and doing all that kind of stuff and kind of bringing it more forward to the attention of the general public again, because she is just out of leads. So that sounds very interesting. But again, I really liked her first book and I'm very excited for this one. Okay, guys, that is it. Those are all the books that I have recently downloaded onto my Kindle. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if there are any of these books that you're excited about. I would love to know. And I will see you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.